All right, we have a game. So we have a rated 1v1 game. It is on Land Nomad, and it is between Mr. Honeyboy, who has chosen the Huns, and we have Eagle Here Be Monsters, who has chosen to be the Ethiopians. Now, Land Nomad, you have to build your TC somewhere. You don't start with it, and both players have decided to build exactly near each other. Out of all the places they could have chosen, they've decided that they both like this particular forest, so that's where it's going to be. So this is going to be close and furious, I imagine. So we have MoneyBoy. He's got a bit of a head start on the build, so he's going to have the TC up first. Not entirely sure that's going to pose too much of an issue straight away. Monsters is going to be seeing the third villager pass by there, so he might have a bit of an inkling that something might be close. MoneyBoy has managed to find 4 sheep already. Monsters just has 2. And we're almost up. All right, both up at pretty much the same time with their TCs. Straight into queuing up 4 vills. Monsters has gone straight for the 2 extra houses. And MoneyBoy has decided to go out and scout the map a little bit. So he's obviously looking for more food. And we actually have a Hunic horse. So does that mean MoneyBoy has got an extra player on the field? I believe he does. So that's quite a massive advantage here then. Did not know that. So he's doing a great job of getting some extra information about the map then. Let's see what the view looks like. So very easy to go and find extra sheep if you have a scout on Land Nomad. So already found another couple of sheep now. Whereas Monsters, he's done a bit of scouting with the first vill that he brought over to build the TC, and
he's
scouting with one of his villagers. So all vills aren't able to be productive at the moment. So a bit of an early stage advantage if you're the Huns here on this map, it would look like. So good job of MoneyBoy to separate the sheep out and just concentrate on one food source at a time. Make sure that the most food can be gathered from any one of those animals. And so MoneyBoy's bringing in another boar. So significantly more resources being brought in so far. 1 extra vill plus the scout is a nice little advantage here in the early stages. So Monsters has decided to go after the hunt and actually put a mill up around where the deer is. Very difficult to push deer without a horse of some kind. And likewise, MoneyBoy is doing something similar. So 13 vills to 10 is a real kick along for MoneyBoy. There's some idle TC time for Monsters. He just doesn't have the food income, and so that's creeping up. He's already researched the loom, so he can't keep the town centre busy just at this stage and has to suffer the idle TC time. He finally has a villager queued up now though. So many sheep for MoneyBoy. He's done a great job with that. Lots of free food to pick and choose from. Monsters, he's had to work a little bit harder. He has managed to find some extra sheep here though. And he is bringing in another boar out in the wild. That's good to see. That will certainly help. But the resources collected is quite astonishing, really. Like, double the resources for Mr. Moneyboy. So he's going to be having quite a distinct advantage here to be able to click up much sooner than monsters. He's also decided to go straight for stone as well. Just get one villager on stone. Still a massive eco lead as well. 19 to 13 at the moment. So when it comes to feudal, it looks like monsters could be in some trouble given that they're so close together. Rest of the map, I mean, horse is... he's done his job now. He's just having a bit of a rest there. And MoneyBoy is out there collecting some more food in the wild. So he's got some decent, well, I wouldn't say map control at the moment, but he is out in various places making the most of it. So he has clicked up. 2 minutes to feudal. And monsters is still quite a long way away from that. He probably wants to get close to 20 vills, or as close as possible before being able to click up. But it's just been a real struggle to get the food income for him. I mean, he's got some nice food underway here, but it is much later than MoneyBoy. So, on the ranked ladder, these players are pretty closely matched in terms of rating. 1,007 for MoneyBoy compared to 1,016 for Monsters. So, Monsters, you know, slightly higher score, but in this particular game, MoneyBoy certainly has the better position. So Monsters still not enough food to click up. MoneyBoy is going to be there in a matter of seconds. But he doesn't have enough resources to be able to build any military structures, although he's going for a tower. So that is a smart play. It's going to cut off a lot of this wood line for Monsters, forcing him to relocate and spend for another lumber camp, or be, you know, really locked into this far position here to avoid the tower fire. And so we have our first attacks of the match. So good reaction from Monsters. He doesn't actually lose any vills, but the pressure would be mounting at this stage. Still yet to click up at the 14-minute mark. And there's possibly enough food in these sheep. We might even have to go to farms to be able to get the food. Farms have gone down. But this is very, well, second tower is up. This must be feeling rather claustrophobic. And to be honest, there's probably not a whole lot that Monsters could be doing about this. I think it was just a bit of a dream run for MoneyBoy to get so much food, using the horse to be able to figure out where the sheep are, be able to bring them in. Villagers fighting off the third tower. It's a successful fight off, and good play by Monsters. You know, villagers are very strong against towers, so this tower will probably be going down. So 2 villagers lost in the process, but that does just give a little bit of a reprieve. And that third tower is likely to go down. But the second tower just being built again. It does have the stone coming in to be able to do this. So that tower will go up now. Monsters wants to... No, he's going to have to abandon that. So 4 vills down. 29 vill lead to 18. Monsters has only just gone up to feudal. But still no military production buildings from MoneyBoys, relying completely on the towers. So if monsters can escape somewhere, try and boom up a little bit, try and make the investment in these towers a bit of a lost cause, then that might be a way back into this match. But the town centre is here. It is being slowly shot down, so it is going to be difficult to keep producing villagers out of this. He's going to have to find another location for a town centre, which he doesn't have the resources for at the moment. And MoneyBoy is just adding salt to the wounds here. 4th tower. Just completely closing off this starting settlement of monsters. Still no military buildings for MoneyBoy. At this stage, he's probably thinking it's not necessary to get a win from this game. Market instead, he might even be thinking of going straight to the castle age and potentially just dropping a castle. But he just needs to be mindful that monsters has spread out, so that initial starting settlement is not the only place that he's going to have to track down. Monsters wants the market to try and stabilize his economy, probably make sure he has enough wood to be able to buy wood if needed to get another town center down when the inevitable happens. So we've got 8 villas on the stone now for MoneyBoy. Still a little way off clicking up to castle. But resources collected, you know, there's like a 2,000 resources difference here at this stage. And he might be content just to do it with towers. I mean, monsters trying for the defensive tower. But it's just not going to be enough. I mean, MoneyBoy is just completely ripped away here in this game. So many resources. He's even towering the far side of the forest, just in case, you know, he suspects that monsters has escaped around there. Let's see what he can see. So he may suspect that monsters is around there. And these guys look like they're up to no good again. More towers. Got a repair of a tower here, just to keep the pressure on. Still very disinterested in military units, Mr. Honeyboy. I mean, he is approaching the castle age. He's going to have to go and find more stone, though, if he wants to continue this strategy. But from the scouting that he's done earlier with the horse, he knows that there's more stone down there. And more is going to be incoming shortly. So, Vill count. There's a lot idle for Here Be Monsters. Hold up in the tower. Trying to push down one of the towers at least. So 14 idle. It's dropped to 5 idle now. So fully relocating most of his army now. His villages. So it's pretty relentless tower assault here. So it's pretty much have to be abandoned, this whole area. And it might just be a matter of time before this one's called. So Monsters does not have enough wood to be able to rebuild another town centre, a replacement town centre. It's only halfway down, and arrow fire does take a long time to defeat a town centre. So he does have time, but it is the only place where villages can be created. And at the moment, Vill production has ceased. But MoneyBoy has clicked up to Castle Age now. trying to gather enough stone to be able to get a castle dropped. And he must just be thinking, okay, where do I put it? He must suspect that this town centre is done for, so it would be a bit wasteful to put a castle up here. So he really needs to be finding out where Monsters has escaped to and trying to track that down. He might even be wondering about some military production buildings to be able to go out and do the more traditional ground assault.
Forget your name.
So plenty of idols standing around now for Monsters. He's just waiting to get to the next stage. Potentially it might even have been worth deleting this town centre in order to build one sooner in a safer position. But the towers have done the job for him now, and he begins construction of the new town centre over here. So Red's done a crafty trick of claiming these farms that were already placed, getting some free food. He's now up and approaching the requisite 650 stone to be able to drop a castle somewhere. So Monsters is trying frantically to rebuild and reboom. He does have bill production on the way again now. I mean, MoneyBoy has been stuck on the 39 vills for quite a while now. Needs to just keep an eye on that, just to make sure that he is still building. Now that he realises that Monsters is nowhere around here, he knows that he must be somewhere else. So he still needs an economy to go and track down where Monsters is and build military to be able to take care of it. Monsters going for the house wall and to make sure that he does have population space. It's a smart move. But MoneyBoy is scouting the map again now. He wants to know where Monsters is. So he's not quite sure. Well, he doesn't know at this stage that he's here. And he does decide just to put the castle in the original starting position for Monsters, which kind of acts more like a defensive castle for his own settlement now. Just creeping forward with the castle. So not a bad position. And just taking care of the single military production barracks just to make sure nothing surprising comes out of there. Right, defensive castle for Monsters is on the way. So potentially closing the gap on the villager difference, although there are 10 in queue for MoneyBoy. And so he has started a second TC down here. So this game will go a bit longer than was initially indicating. So I think Monsters needs to hope for a few mistakes here from MoneyBoy. Needs to be able to boom, give it time to boom, and then potentially take some smart engagements and come back into this game with some good fights. So second TC is up now. Just doesn't really have the food income to keep those two town centres sustained. But he'll be working on that now. So it's almost like MoneyBoy's gone into chill mode now. So it's researching some techs, So he's got the forging, and he's got the fletching in now. So it looks like he's going to go into cavalry, which makes sense for the Huns. So this ram is just doing the necessary to get rid of the last few dots here. And then all traces of monsters will be removed from that part of the map. So nicely balanced economy now for monsters. It's just a shame that it's only half the size of MoneyBoy. So still trying to find where he has escaped to. Of course, can't decide which way he wants to go. Pretty sure he's been down this path before. He wants to retrace it. Nope. So it looks like he's just, well, I don't know what he's doing. He's going back and forward. But still hasn't really decided to go over and check this part out. So 20 veal gap in the production of veals. So red seems almost obsessed to be rid of these buildings here from blue before he decides to go and actually have the main attack, bringing in relics now. So maybe he's just having fun with this game. He knows it's probably under control. Just wants to enjoy being ahead. And now we see that he will have discovered where monsters has escaped to. So just going back to check out exactly what's being built here. New markets, university. But he'll know where he needs to focus the attack now. Still next to no military on the field, so there's only 4 units. Which I don't know if monks count in that 4. So it's probably the scout, the 2 monks, and the ram. So you're just giving, you know, ample opportunity to monsters to be able to come back into this game. This monk wants to go over and just be annoying. Might try and convert some bills potentially. And there's a reaction from monsters. He's probably going to kill that monk with the vills. You know, very disruptive to the economy. If you can just harass him into the town centre, the castle fire. That's the way to do it. Ballistics is not in for monsters, so that horse is unlikely to get too damaged. If he just keeps on the move, he's going to avoid that arrow fire. So a little bit of health left, 17. But he knows exactly what monsters has. He scattered all the base. So I think that I'm guessing that red wants to finish this game with a castle drop on blue's base. Or at least put a castle somewhere along this wood line to make life difficult for blue. I mean, this game should have been over such a long time ago, so the resources in the bank are just extraordinary. I mean, monsters is still just scraping by, trying to get some sort of economy. I mean, he's done well to keep the villager count going. He's maintained that 20 vil deficit, as you know, it hasn't grown from 20 vils. So he's been doing well to keep the town centre ticking over. But I think Red just wants to have a bit of fun with this game now. So he's getting all the techs. Wants to make sure that any horse that comes out is going to be super primed to the max for any action. So let's see if he clicks up to Imperial Age. He's got everything. Yep, there we go. So I think it's going to be trebs out of these castles, and we'll suddenly see a flurry of cavalry. And I think he wants to win this in one mighty battle to just decimate everything in one go. So he's finished with 3 TCs. I don't think any more are going to be coming. Monsters even decided to wall up, but it looks like he's abandoned that notion. Alright, so Monsters has decided to go for archers. Probably not having much of an idea of what his opponent is on. He's probably just gone with what he can afford with his resources. And food has been the premium since the relocation, so Golden Wood makes sense to have mostly the archers. But if Red is going the cavalry, then that matchup undoubtedly favours Red. And it would seem to be just another thing that's gone against Blue in this game. Alright, so Red dropping another castle to protect that additional stone. Still hasn't decided to make any military. So he has lost a monk and the horse, which takes him down to the 2 military. Nothing has been replaced. So Monsters does have the larger army at this stage, but with all of these castles in place, he's going to find it very difficult to get through and find any damage. So this line of castles pretty much protects any entrance for these archers. And I think Monsters is going to find that out the hard way, and it will be more than slightly heartbreaking, shall we say. So he does not have knowledge of this castle here, or the string of castles down this way. But still not wanting to venture out just yet. He has clicked up to Imperial, so potentially just wants to upgrade these archers as much as he can and then go and see what he can do with them. Alright, so he will know about that castle fire now. So 34 archers with 13 in queue. And now we do have some Tarkans on the field. So looks like Tarkans will be the army of choice for Red. He's going yet another offensive castle. We still don't have trebs. Looks like he may do this with rams. So 1 ram in queue, 1 on the field. So second castle from blue just wants to try and give himself the best chance to protect his archers here and an entrance into his base. But we do have Trebs in queue now. Monsters has gone up. So they're both at least in the same age now. Resources collected, we'll just come back to this. So extra 20,000 resources for red. Alright, so Monsters is pulled into this. He does decide to pull back. So that castle will be going down. Not willing to do the GG just yet. But potentially he will be once he sees this castle up here. So first castle is down. Alright, we'll just see what the reaction is from blue when this finally gets the last brick in place. So I mean, up to this point, you know, it was only 20 vills had been killed in the early skirmish of the game. But you know, the map control was lost back in the beginning here, and Monsters has been on the run ever since, really. And so he's, you know, completely backed into this slither of land. It's going to find it very difficult to relocate. And so red, I suspect he is enjoying himself. You know, why not just take your time with the game, which you know is going to be very difficult to lose. It would have to be a purposeful throw at this stage. And I think Monsters, he just wants to go and just try and get something for his efforts here. So he probably gets a glimpse of that Tarkan army. And probably just wants to get a few vills just to a couple of souvenirs for his efforts today. Because he will know that it's just a matter of time. And there we go, there's a vill. So he can probably end this game and feel slightly happier about the situation. But the Tarkans are chasing this down. Meanwhile, the assault has begun on the relocated base. Treb's been packed up to move in for more territory. Alright, and so all the archers have been taken out. So 76 Tarkan, or thereabouts, with 10 other on the field. And so, to his credit, GG, that was fun for Monsters. Well, I'm glad he had fun. I mean, it was a fun game to watch. But yeah, just let's go back to the very beginning, because I think it can all be lost in just a moment, really. So I do think that, like, having the horse scout has, you know, given well, is it an unfair advantage? I have to look into this. Let's just see where it appears, because at the moment it's just 3 villages. I think when the town centre goes up, it must spawn a free scout for red. So by this stage he already had 4, and then we go. So it appears here. So then he can go scouting for more resources. So the horse is much better scout, obviously, than a villager. Plus, if you're scouting with your villager, that villager's not getting resources. And so you get hit immediately with an eco disadvantage. Because, I mean, otherwise, you know, at this point, the build is pretty much the same for both. You know, villager production is even. Red does manage to bring in a boar early, He'll know about this deer over here. I mean, he'll most likely know about this other boar over here. Let's see. So he's got great vision already. Knows there's a second boar out here that can be taken. He's just found 2 more sheep here. And we'll continue, finding sheep all over the map. So he's got like a quarter of the map, edging towards a third of the map, being figured out. Whereas if we have a look at monsters, he's really only confined to the area where he's set up, and then he's got this one vill out there trying to do what the horse is doing for red, but it's so much slower, and your worker is just not doing his job. He's not gathering anything. So I think, yep, possibly the combination of Huns with the early scout and just the coincidental nature of popping up really close to each other has given MoneyBoy the edge on getting up to feudal first, well ahead of monsters, and then going for the tower rush worked out really, really well. So I think really well played strategy by MoneyBoy, and hopefully monsters can learn for that next time. All right. And we all know how it ends from here. All right, okay, that's it for this one.